Today's episode is brought to you by Modern Grower. Modern Grower is the go-to source for 100% organic, GMO-free microgreen seeds. Trusted by hundreds of growers for high quality and low prices. If you're growing microgreens, start saving at shop.moderngrower.co. So if we even take a step back of somebody who's not farming, so somebody knocks on your door now, they're not growing at all. I want a market farm, but Ellen, I'm going to let you lay out the path for me to do this.
Yep.
What would be the path you'd prescribe to a person to give them the best chance of success?
Yep. So certainly there would be some books involved. There's so many good books out there. And in fact, I wrote a book called Start Your Farm, which seems like it might fit in this condition. And it doesn't tell you how to farm, but it tells you how to think about farming in different parts of what farming is: production, marketing, kind of self-management, some of the stuff that you do a lot of good work on, Diego. So some books, yes, there would be some classes, but I would mostly say, who's anywhere near you can work for? Or can you move to this part of the country? To watch how farming works well in the geography where you think you're going to settle and develop your farm. I was a person who got adopted by an existing farm. So there's this other piece that comes along that's, I want to start my own place, as if that's the only option there is. I have to do it my way and I have to make every single mistake in the book. I think it's way more fun to go work on a team with people who've made 1,000 mistakes and are cruising, and work yourself towards becoming a partner, an owner of somebody else's business. So that's how I succeeded in my life. I didn't ever have any money to go start a brand new farm. I got adopted and it was awesome. So I would put that in the list of possibilities.
It's almost like an apprenticeship, working your way up.
Yeah, it's old school, but farming beyond kind of a half-acre scale is capital intensive. And most people aren't walking around with $200,000 in their pockets to invest in infrastructure, equipment, soil improvements, etc. And working with others, I think, is a really great way to get going. There's also some nice incubator farms that really give you that platform where they've already developed the infrastructure. The deer fence is there, the irrigation is in, the cooler is there, the wash pack is there, everything's there. Just rent it and really see what can you do, so you can focus on your production skills and your marketing skills in a semi-safe environment. I think that's a super awesome way to go about it. Practice.
You were adopted by a farm.
Yeah.
How do you think older farmers view younger farmers if they wanted to lend themselves to being adopted? Is that an option? How relevant of an option is that for most people?
Yeah, I think it's relevant depending on your age. So if we're talking about somebody in their 20s who, again, is not tied down with a mortgage and family obligations and so forth, and has a little more kind of itinerant freedom, I think that getting adopted is a real option. There certainly are, like the original hippies that started organic farms in the 70s are 70 and 80 years old now. And they would love to have somebody come along who is respectful of their experience and excited, has the energy to grow, maintain, develop, do something fun with the business. And most farmers' kids don't want to farm. So I've seen several examples where older farmers are thrilled to have somebody else come down the pike who wants to take the torch and keep doing good work. But there's having that level of respect. I'm going to honor the experience that you have. I want to learn from you. That's a good way to grease the wheels, and bringing lots of great questions and some new insights. Farmers do get stuck in their ways and would be maybe excited for some new juice, a new way, a new idea of how to do things when it's properly introduced.
Do you find the younger generation, I'll lump myself into that, are receptive to going in and following the lead of someone who's more experienced? I tend to find maybe a lot of us are very headstrong. Hey, we learned that on YouTube. It's got to be right, and we're going to do it that way versus, and I should not versus, but and also poo-pooing, oh, that's old school, that doesn't work, yet you've done it your whole life and you've made a living off of it. No, you own the farm I actually want to work at. What do you think about younger people?
Yeah, I think it's a mixed bag. It's interesting to weigh your question with this admitting that folks are believing what they're seeing in these classes. So they're giving authority and belief to an expert on the internet, or that they're reading a book. So they're not saying they already knew it to start with. It's just that it seems like they're more willing to believe somebody who's not in front of them, like in real life. Or maybe there just isn't anybody in front of them. I don't know. That's an interesting question.
I think it's a fair point too. It's like, it's almost like you don't, it's kind of the danger of anybody like us who writes books, right? You position yourself as the guru, intentionally or not, and some people don't know enough to even question whether what's being said is right or wrong.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you enjoy farm podcasts, then tune into Carrot Cash Flow for all things farm business. Join us as we explore the latest trends, tips, and stories from market farmers running businesses just like yours. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just starting out, our podcast has something for everyone. Listen in and grow with us. Available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe to Carrot Cash Flow today.